You're nobody. Clean this up before I have security throw you out like the trash you handle." Victoria's silver pen stabbed the air, pointing at the marble floor Amara had just mopped. The woman on her knees, blue head wrap damp with sweat, watched expensive coffee seep across tiles she'd polished for 4 years. Designer heels clicked away. Executives laughed. Someone filmed. One dropped a bill at Amara's feet. 5 naira. Not help, humiliation. Amara's hands didn't shake, not yet. She folded the bill once, twice, and slipped it into her apron. Her children would eat tonight. That was all that mattered. Have you ever been invisible to someone who should see your humanity? This is one of those African stories rooted in African folklore, the kind of touching stories and real-life stories that life stories rarely capture until the truth surfaces. What happens next will leave you breathless. 5 weeks earlier, Amara Okafor clocked in at 9:47 p.m., 13 minutes early as always. Yellow badge scanned at the service entrance. 6th floor executive wing. 12 offices, 4 conference rooms, 2 lounges. She knew every surface by heart. 4 years, 2 months. 0 late arrivals. 0 complaints. 8 commendations from Mr. Bello, her supervisor. Employee of the quarter twice. The plaque sat on her kitchen shelf in Ajagunle, next to her children's school books and the hospital invoice. 180,000 naira for her mother's surgery. Due in 3 months. 3 months to save what she earned in 6. Kioma, age 9, wanted to be a doctor. Emeka, 7, drew crayon pictures labeled Mama the Hero. Amara sent 40% of her salary to Enugu every month. The math never worked. It never had. But her mother would get that surgery. She tied her blue head wrap and pushed her cart toward the elevators. Monday nights were silent. The CEO, Mr. Samuel Adeyemi, was in London. His office would be empty. She preferred it that way. No eyes looking through her like glass. The yellow lanyard around her neck marked her caste. Company policy required visible badges. Executives wore silver. Cleaners wore yellow. Hierarchy color-coded. She didn't mind the color. She minded being invisible. Monday, 5:47 a.m. Amara finished the CEO's office last. Mahogany desk polished to a mirror. Leather chair wiped. Waste bin emptied. Snake plant watered. One final microfiber pass. Something glinted near the desk leg. A silver pen. Engraved VA. Zenith Elite 2024, Victoria Adewale. The HR director. 8 months in role. Always in designer suits, always fast-walking, always on her phone. People whispered about networking, about insecurity masked as ambition. Amara placed the pen carefully on the desk blotter, centered and visible. She bowed slightly to the empty room, her mother's teaching, and moved on. The CCTV camera blinked red. 6:14 a.m., 6:15 a.m., ground floor lobby. You were in there stealing. Victoria's voice cracked like a whip. Amara turned, mop in hand. The HR director stormed toward her, 2 security guards flanking. Behind them, the morning shift arrived. Executives with coffee, junior staff with briefcases. Phones came out. Recording started. Ma? Amara's voice stayed level. I don't understand. My pen. You took it from the CEO's office. Victoria stopped 3 feet away. Intimidation distance. That pen cost 45,000 naira. More than your monthly salary. Ma, I found it on the floor. I placed it on the desk, so you admit you touched executive property without authorization. Victoria's different silver pen jabbed toward Amara's chest. That's theft of access. Doesn't matter if you took it. You violated protocol. A security guard shifted. Mrs. Adewale, should we check CCTV? CEO's office has systems been malfunctioning on that floor. IT reported it Friday. Victoria held Amara's gaze. Convenient timing. Lie, Amara had seen IT working 5th floor last week. Nothing about 6th. The lobby swelled. 50 people. All watching. Mr. Bello pushed through, 55 years old, grey temples, 23 years at Zenith. 18 months from pension. He'd trained Amara, written every commendation. Mrs. Adewale. Respectful but firm. Amara's record is spotless. 4 years, 0 infractions. If there's confusion, are you defending theft, Mr. Bello? Victoria pivoted. Perhaps you're complicit. Perhaps your training includes theft techniques. Mr. Bello's jaw locked. He calculated silently. Grandchildren, pension, survival. He said nothing. Victoria yanked Amara's yellow lanyard. The badge clattered to marble. You're done. Security, remove her. Amara bent slowly, picked up her badge. The photo showed her smiling, hopeful. First day, 4 years ago. She'd bought new shoes for that picture. 2,500 naira she couldn't afford. Ma. Amara straightened, her hands steady. I have 2 children. My mother needs surgery. I need this job. You should have thought about consequences. Victoria raised her voice for the crowd. For the phones. For the narrative. We have standards. Let this be everyone's lesson. Amara walked to the exit. Security didn't touch her. She passed executives who studied walls, cleaners who examined shoes. The receptionist who'd said good morning 1,000 times now typed frantically. The doors sealed behind her. Lagos heat slapped her face. She walked 2 blocks to the bus stop, sat on the bench, placed her blue head wrap in her lap. Only then did her hands shake. Victoria's office, 9:30 a.m. Victoria opened her desk drawer. 17 silver pens lined up like trophies, each stolen from someone she'd eliminated climbing the ladder. She filed off their names, re-engraved her initials. Identity erasure, replacement. The newest pen from the CEO's office sat in her purse. She dropped it there at 6:02 a.m., before Amara's shift ended. Planted evidence, deleted CCTV showing her early entry. IT would find the gap eventually, but the story was set. Cleaner steals from executive, simple, believable. She opened Instagram, scrolled past her grid. Professional headshots, motivational quotes, charity events, 47,000 followers. Her thumb hovered over new post, not yet. Timing mattered. Victoria grew up in Ajagunle, same streets as Amara. At 19, a wealthy employer made her clean spilled wine on her knees while dinner guests watched. Fired her afterward for poor culture fit. She'd vowed never powerless again. She climbed, networked, eliminated obstacles. Somewhere in the climb she became her destroyer. But reflection was weakness. She deleted the thought. Her phone buzzed. Accounting had flagged her 6 weeks ago. 2,317,450 naira missing from employee welfare funds. Fake vendors. Ghost invoices. Her digital signatures. Money meant for medical emergencies. People like Amara's mother, rerouted to her husband's offshore accounts. The board would audit eventually. She'd deleted emails, shredded documents, intimidated witnesses. She'd survived worse. Another text from her assistant. Mr. Bello filed formal complaint. Section 11.4 violation, Section 11.4. Nigerian Employment Act. 30-day investigation required for theft accusations. Union representation mandatory. She'd bypassed it. Fired Amara instantly. Victoria typed, schedule Bello performance review tomorrow 8 a.m. Some problems eliminated themselves. Others required precision. She studied her 17 pens. Room for 18, her desk phone rang. IT department. She let it go to voicemail. They'd found the CCTV gap. Didn't matter. Her version was already truth. Week 1. Amara sat at the bus stop until the sun climbed above the buildings. Her phone had 17 missed calls. Mr. Bello, her neighbor Grace, her sister in Enugu. She turned it off. Not yet. She couldn't explain what she didn't understand. The bus ride home took 43 minutes. She counted everyone. Ajagunle looked different in daylight. Laundry hanging between buildings. Children heading to school. Street vendors setting up. Normal life continuing while hers fractured. She climbed 3 flights to her flat. The door stuck like always. Inside, Kioma and Amika sat at the table doing homework. Her neighbor, Mrs. Adisa, had watched them overnight. The woman took one look at Amara's face and asked no questions. Just squeezed her shoulder and left. Mama. Amika ran to her. You're home early. Chioma looked up from her math textbook. 9 years old, but reading expressions like an adult. Mama, what happened? Amara knelt to eye level. Her blue head wrap still perfectly tied. Armor even now. I don't work at Zenith anymore. Why? Emeka's eyes went wide. Did you steal? Chioma's voice cracked. Kids at school said cleaners steal things. The question hit harder than Victoria's accusation. Amara cupped her daughter's face. No, baby. But sometimes people with power lie, and we have to trust God fights for us. She didn't cry. Not in front of them. Mothers don't have that luxury. Amika drew a picture that afternoon. Amara with a broken badge, tears falling like rain. He didn't show her. She found it later in the trash. She pulled it out. smoothed the creases, tucked it in her Bible. Tuesday through Friday, Amara applied to 5 cleaning agencies. All required references, all called Zenith. All rejected her by afternoon. "I'm sorry," one manager said. "We can't risk it. Your former employer was very clear about termination cause. Termination cause theft." The word followed her like a shadow. She calculated bills on the back of an envelope. Rent, 35,000 naira due in 12 days. School fees, 18,000. Food, 12,000 if stretched. Her mother's surgery deposit, 50,000 needed by week 8. Total, 115,000. Money in hand, 8,400. The math screamed. She folded the envelope and burned it in the sink. Friday evening, she pawned her wedding ring. The jeweler offered 8,000 naira, worth 3 times that. She took it. Her husband died 6 years ago. The ring's job was protecting her children now. She bought 20 kilos of plantain, 5 liters of palm oil, plastic bags, and a folding table. Week 2. Monday morning, Amara set up outside Ikeja market. Her table wobbled. She steadied it with cardboard. Hand-lettered sign, fresh plantain chips 50 naira. She'd fried them at 4 a.m. while her children slept. By noon, 12 bags sold. Profit, 200 naira after costs. She'd made more per hour scrubbing toilets. Tuesday, a customer asked, "Why aren't you working somewhere proper?" Amara smiled. "I am working somewhere proper." The woman didn't buy chips. Wednesday evening, Amara scrolled Instagram while waiting for customers. Victoria's account appeared in Explore. Leadership means making tough calls. Empowering the next generation of women to lead with integrity. Women supporting women. Boss lady. June Thursday motivation. Photo. Victoria at company Women's Day event. Smiling staff. Caption. 47,000 likes. Amara's hands had oil burns from frying. Her children ate gari for the 3rd night. Cassava flakes with sugar because she couldn't afford stew. She closed the app Friday. Mr. Bello found her stall. He pressed 5,000 naira into her palm. From the cleaning staff, 12 of us contributed. We know the truth. Amara's armor cracked. She cried. First time in public since the bus stop. Mr. Bello looked away, giving her privacy. Victoria fired 2 more cleaners this week, he said quietly. Insubordination. Anyone who might talk. Are you safe? Too close to pension. She won't risk optics. He didn't sound convinced. Don't come back, Amara. Even if you clear your name, she's untouchable. He left before she could argue. That night sleep wouldn't come. Untouchable. Some people climbed so high consequences couldn't reach them. She prayed until dawn. No words. Just silence and surrender. Week 3. Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Amara's stall was slow. An elderly woman struggled past carrying heavy bags of Ankara fabric. 70s, elegant but unassuming. 3 vendors ignored her, busy with wealthier customers. Amara left her stall. "Ma, let me help." The woman looked surprised. "You'll lose sales. You'll lose your back." Amara took the bags. Heavier than expected. They walked 2 blocks to the taxi stand. "You have kind hands," the woman said. "Shouldn't you be at work?" Amara laughed. Bitter, honest. "This is my work now. Before, I was a cleaner, good at it. 4 years. She adjusted her blue head wrap. "Someone lied. I got fired. Now I sell chips." She didn't know why she told the truth. Maybe because the woman's eyes actually saw her. Not through her. At her, "What's your name?" "Amara Okafor." "I'm Chinwe," the woman smiled. Didn't offer a surname. She pulled out her wallet. "Let me pay you, no ma. I helped because you needed help." Chinwe studied her for a long moment. Something shifted in her expression. Recognition, maybe. Or decision. "What if I know someone hiring?" "Boutique hotel. Housekeeping supervisor. 18,000 naira per week, real job. Not charity." Amara's heart jumped. 72,000 monthly. Double her Zenith salary. "But they'll call for reference." "They won't." Chinwe's voice carried certainty that felt almost official. "I know the owner well. Your word is reference enough. Interview tomorrow, 2 p.m. Amara took the address card. Suspicious, hopeful, desperate. "Why are you helping me?" "Because someone helped me once." Chinwe touched Amara's head wrap gently. "Keep wearing blue. It suits you." The taxi pulled away. Amara stood holding the card. Echo Boutique Hotel Manager, Mrs. Chinwe Adeyemi, common Lagos surname. Thousands had it. She didn't make the connection. Week 4 Amara started at Echo Boutique Hotel Monday. The interview lasted 10 minutes. Chinwe hired her immediately. The staff respected her. She trained with patience, worked alongside them, never asked what she wouldn't do herself. Her first paycheck, 18,000 naira. She sent 7,000 to Enugu for her mother's surgery fund. Paid rent, bought meat for stew. Chioma hugged her that night. "Mama, you're smiling again." "God wanted me somewhere better," Amara said. She almost believed it, but questions nagged. Why had Chinwe hired her so quickly? Why no reference check? How did she know the owner well of a boutique hotel? And why, twice that week, had Amara spotted Chinwe in a chauffeur-driven Mercedes leaving the hotel, the kind of car managers didn't drive? Thursday, week 4, Mr. Bello appeared at the hotel lobby. Face grey. "They fired me. Performance review. Victoria called it toxic workplace behavior. Your pension, gone 18 months short." His hands shook. "I filed a complaint with the board. Section 11(4) violation. She found out. Amara made him tea in the staff room. What happens now?" "She staged another theft accusation. Young cleaner named Grace. Same lobby. Same phones recording." Grace collapsed crying. He looked at Amara. "Victoria's untouchable. The board scheduled an audit, but she'll bury it. She always does." After he left, Amara prayed. Not for revenge, for truth. Big difference. Friday evening, Chinwe called Amara into her office. The older woman sat behind her desk, elegant as always, but something had changed in her posture. Purpose, maybe. Or resolve. "Amara, I need you to go somewhere Monday morning." 10 a.m. Where? "Zenith Tower." Amara's chest tightened. "I can't, you can, and you will." Chinwe's voice carried steel wrapped in kindness. "Wear your blue head wrap." "Why?" "Because it's time the truth had a stage." Chinwe stood. She was taller than Amara remembered. "I'll pick you up at 9:30. Don't be late." "Mrs. Adeyemi, just Chinwe." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "For now." That night, Amara couldn't sleep. She pulled out Emika's drawing from her Bible. The broken badge. The tears. She studied it under lamplight. Monday would change something. She felt it like thunder before rain. She just didn't know what. Week 5, Monday, 9:30 a.m. The Mercedes pulled up outside Amara's building. Black polished diplomatic plates. Chinwe sat in back, window down. She wore something different today. Tailored navy suit, pearl earrings. Power clothing. Amara climbed in, blue head wrap tied tight. Her hands were steady. She'd prayed for 3 hours. Where are we really going? Zenith Tower. Why? Chinwe met her eyes. The kindness remained, but underneath, steel. Because 5 weeks ago I stood on a mezzanine and watched a woman in blue walk out of that building, with more dignity than everyone inside combined. Amara's breath caught. "You were there?" "I was visiting." Chinwe didn't elaborate. "I saw everything." The lobby, the shame, the phone's recording. She handed Amara an envelope. "You deserve to see this." Inside, CCTV screenshots. 6:02 a.m. Victoria entering the CEO's office, furtive. 6:14 a.m. Amara placing the pen on desk, bowing. "Timestamps clear. How did you get these?" ET keeps backups. "Victoria isn't as thorough as she thinks." Chinwe pulled out a second folder. Accounting report. 2,317,450 naira missing. Welfare fund. Money meant for your mother's surgery. Stolen. Amara's hands trembled. She took medical emergency funds? 47 employees affected. Chinwe's jaw tightened. "You were one of them." The car stopped at Zenith's entrance. Security recognized the vehicle. Opened doors immediately. Bowed deeply, Amara didn't move. "Who are you, really?" Chinwe smiled, cryptic. "Someone who believes truth deserves the same stage as lies." "Are you ready?" Amara touched her head wrap. "Yes, inside Zenith Tower, private hallway." Mr. Bello waited, looking thin, older. When he saw Chinwe, his eyes widened. He bowed slightly. "The kind of bow you give someone important, Mrs. He caught himself. "Ma'am, I didn't know you'd be here." Mr. Bello, 23 years of service. Fired for filing a legal complaint. Chinwe shook his hand. "That ends today." Amara watched the exchange. Chinwe commanded respect like oxygen, invisible but essential. Who was she? They entered a private conference room, waited. Amara's pulse hammered. 25 a.m. Grand Atrium, 250 employees assembled. Mandatory attendance, executives, staff, cleaners, security, everyone. The atrium buzzed with confusion. Emergency meetings meant layoffs or acquisitions. Victoria sat front row center, confident, silver pen clicking in her hand. She'd prepared her audit defense. Accounting errors, misunderstandings. She'd survived worse. Mr. Bello entered from the back. Whispers erupted. "Isn't he fired?" Victoria's head snapped around. Eyes narrowed. Grace, the second accused cleaner, sat near the exit. Still traumatized, then the side door opened. Amara walked in, blue head wrap perfect, escorted by Chinwe in her navy suit. The crowd parted. Phones came out. Victoria stood halfway. "What is she—" "Please sit, Mrs. Adewale." Samuel Adeyemi's voice from the podium. Calm, commanding. "You'll want to hear this." Victoria sat. Her pen clicked faster. The reckoning. 5 weeks ago, Samuel began, an injustice occurred here. I am addressing it publicly because transparency is our foundation. The screen behind him lit up. CCTV footage. 6:14 am. Amara placing the pen gently on desk, bowing, leaving collective gasp. This woman was accused of theft. The evidence shows she returned lost property. Footage switched. 6:02 a.m. Victoria entering the CEO's office, placing items from her purse into desk drawer. Moving quickly. Checking hallway. Guilt in every movement. Victoria's face drained. "That's out of context. Sit down." Samuel's voice cut steel. 6:47 a.m. Your credentials deleted this footage. You knew you destroyed evidence. It access logs filled the screen. Her username. Her timestamp. Her deletion command. I can explain. You'll have your chance. Samuel nodded to the CFO, stern woman, 60s, 12 years on board. She stood. 2,317,450 naira missing from Employee Welfare Fund. January through June. Approved by HR Director Victoria Adewale. The screen filled with invoices. Fake vendors. All signed by Victoria. All traced to offshore accounts. These funds were for staff medical emergencies. Amara Okafor's mother needs surgery. Grace Okonkwo's father needed dialysis. 12 others needed urgent care. You stole from them. Victoria's pen fell, clattered across marble. Same sound as Amara's mop bucket 5 weeks ago. Mrs. Adewale, explain. Victoria stood, shaking. Accounting errors happen. There were miscommunications, 47 fake invoices. Your signature on each. That's not miscommunication. The crowd murmured, angry. Cleaners stood. Executives looked away. Chinwe rose from the third row. Walked slowly to the podium. The crowd confused. Who was this woman? Why did security bow to her? Why did she walk like she owned the building? Samuel stepped aside. Making room. For those who don't know, he said, voice carrying across the atrium. This is my mother, Mrs. Chinwe Adeyemi. The room detonated. Silence first. Then whispers like wildfire. CEO's mother. She'd been here, watching, investigating. Amara's knees almost buckled. Adeyemi, the hotel. The Mercedes. The immediate hire. The someone who believes in truth. The CEO's mother, Chinwe, had been testing her. Protecting her. Building the case. Chinwe addressed Victoria directly. Voice quiet. Devastating. You called this woman trash. Mocked her poverty. Destroyed her livelihood to cover your crimes. Victoria's mouth opened. Nothing came. I watched her help me carry bags when vendors ignored me. Watched her refuse money because she wanted work, not charity. Watched her wear her blue head wrap like armor, even when you stripped everything else. Chinwe paused. Your bank account is full, Mrs. Adewale, but you're the poorest person in this room. Absolute silence. No phones, no whispers. Just truth. Mr. Bello walked to the podium. Samuel invited him up. Amara Okafor. 4 years, 2 months. Perfect attendance. 8 commendations. Employee of quarter twice. She trained 6 cleaners. Stayed late unpaid to help colleagues. Donated salary to staff facing eviction. He looked at Victoria. You fired our best because she reminded you what you'd become. Grace stood, tearful. She accused me too. Last week, USB drive. I didn't take it. She needed another story to bury the first. Samuel wrote notes. We'll investigate fully, Grace. You have my word. Victoria tried to leave. Security stepped forward. Mrs. Attawale remained seated. Police are en route. Police. Her voice broke. I have rights, so did Amara. Samuel's voice went cold. So strip them anyway. The CFO read from legal documents. Section 11(4) of Nigerian Employment Act requires 30-day investigation with union representation for theft accusations. You fired Amara instantly. Criminal embezzlement carries 7-year maximum sentence. Charges filed today. Victoria collapsed into her chair. Her 17 silver pens, seized that morning, sat in evidence boxes on a table. Trophies from people she'd destroyed. Samuel announced immediate actions. Victoria suspended. Criminal investigation opened. Mr. Bello reinstated as facilities director, with 200,000 naira back pay. Grace receiving counseling and scholarship. Welfare fund reimbursement starting tomorrow. All staff badges changed to silver. No more yellow. The crowd erupted, applause, crying, cleaners sat taller. Even executives stood clapping. Amara stood still, overwhelmed, vindicated, not triumphant. Just seen, Chinwe touched her shoulder. How do you feel? All of it, Amara whispered. Everything at once, that's justice. Chinwe smiled. Messy but necessary. 2 police officers entered. Spoke quietly with Victoria. Escorted her out. She didn't look at Amara. Couldn't. The crowd parted. Silent now. Witnessing consequences. Samuel's office, 1 p.m. He offered Amara a seat. Chinwe sat beside her. Mr. Bello joined. Name your terms, Samuel said. Any position. Any salary. Company car. School tuition. Whatever you need. Amara shook her head. I don't want executive title. What do you want? I want to clean. She sat straighter. I'm good at it. I'm proud of it. I just want respect. Samuel smiled. Facility supervisor. Lead 12 staff. Train new hires. Executives included on workplace dignity. 85,000 monthly. Medical insurance for your family and parents. Your mother's surgery fully covered. Amara's eyes filled. My mother, already arranged. Chinwe showed her a hospital receipt. Surgery next week. 200,000 covered. The anonymous donation. That was you. I see you, Chinwe said simply, Amara cried. Not from pain. From relief. From being witnessed. From sunrise after endless night. Samuel pulled out a box. Inside silver badge. All staff badges silver now. No hierarchy. Your family. Amara took it. Traced her name. Amara Okafor. Facilities supervisor. When do I start? Tomorrow. If you're ready, I'm ready. Monday, 2:30 p.m., Lagos Police Station, Financial Crimes Unit. Victoria sat in the interrogation room for 40 minutes before anyone entered. Grey walls, metal table, one-way mirror. She'd seen this in movies. Never imagined herself on this side. Detective Okonkwo walked in. 50s, methodical, carrying 2 folders. He sat across from her. Didn't offer water. Didn't smile, Mrs. Attawale. Let's start simple. Do you recognize these signatures? He slid printouts across the table. 47 invoices. Her digital signature on each. Those are accounting documents. I approve hundreds. These aren't real vendors. He tapped one. Prestige Consulting. Registered to a shell company in your husband's name. Elite HR Solutions. Same. Summit Training Services. Same. He leaned forward. 2.3 million naira. Where did it go? I want my lawyer. You can have one. But we have your computer, your emails, your bank records. Your husband's already in custody. He's talking. Okonkwo opened the second folder. He says you planned everything. Said you needed money to maintain your lifestyle after your promotion didn't come with the salary bump you expected. Victoria's hands clenched. He's lying. Then tell me your version. Silence. Let me help you understand something. Okonkwo pulled out a photo. Amara's personnel file picture. This woman worked 4 years for you. Perfect record. You fired her to cover your theft. Then you stole money meant for her mother's surgery. He pulled out another photo. Grace. This woman, 24, you accused her of theft to create a pattern. Destroy credibility of anyone who might question you. I didn't. We have the CCTV. We have IT logs showing you deleted evidence. We have the accounting trail. He stacked the folders. 7 years maximum sentence for embezzlement. Add obstruction of justice, unlawful termination, fraud. You're looking at 10 years. Victoria's face went pale. 10 years? Unless you cooperate. Tell us who else knew. Who helped you set up the shell companies? Who processed the fake invoices? No one. It was just me. Her voice cracked. My husband set up the companies, but he didn't know what I was using them for. He thought I was freelance consulting. So you're saying he's innocent? Victoria looked at her hands. At the place where her silver pen used to rest. He's innocent. I did this alone, Okonkwo wrote notes. Why? Because I was tired of being invisible. Of being the girl from Ajagunle who got lucky. Of executives looking through me. She laughed, bitter. I became exactly what I hated. I don't know when. But I did. Tell that to the judge. 3:45 p.m. Zenith Tower Executive Conference Room. The emergency board meeting convened with 8 members present. Samuel sat at the head. Chinwe sat in the observer section, not officially on the board, but her presence carried weight. The CFO presented findings. Full forensic audit complete. Victoria Adewale embezzled 2,317,450 naira over 6 months. 47 employees affected. Employee welfare fund depleted to 18% of mandated reserve. A board member, technology sector veteran, spoke up. How did this happen under our watch? She exploited approval thresholds. Any invoice under 50,000 naira didn't require board review. She submitted 47 invoices at 49,000 each, all approved through standard HR channels. The CFO clicked to the next slide. She also pressured accounting staff to expedite payments. 2 staff members have come forward saying they raised flags. She told them it was confidential board business. Where are those staff members now? Samuel asked, still employed. We're offering them protection and compensation for retaliation they endured. Another board member. What's our legal exposure? Significant. Affected employees can sue for negligence. We failed to protect welfare funds. We failed to investigate termination complaints. We failed Section 11(4) compliance. The legal counsel looked grim. I recommend we settle proactively. Full restitution plus damages. Public apology. Policy reform. Agreed, Samuel said immediately. Draft settlement offers. Fair compensation, not minimum legal requirement. That could cost us 4 million naira. It should cost us that. We failed them. Samuel looked at each board member. We're also launching third-party governance review. I want to know every policy gap that let this happen. Chinwe spoke from her seat. I have a recommendation. The board turned. Samuel nodded. Please, put Amara Okafor on this board. Silence. She's a facilities supervisor, one member said carefully. No offense, but board governance requires what? An MBA? Years in executive roles? Chinwe's voice stayed calm, cutting. She saw corruption you missed. She survived injustice you enabled. She has more moral authority than everyone in this room combined. Mrs. Adeyemi, I'm not finished. She stood. You need eyes that see what privilege blinds you to. You need someone who'll speak for the people you forget exist. You need disruption, not comfort. She looked at Samuel. If you're serious about reform, prove it. Give her a seat. Samuel didn't hesitate. I'll propose it at the next shareholder meeting. In the meantime, she attends all board meetings as a special advisor. Voting observer status, the CFO nodded. Others followed. Reluctant but unable to argue. One more thing, Chinwe said. The media is downstairs. 6 outlets. They're asking about the scandal. How you respond today determines whether this company survives. 15 p.m. Zenith Tower. Ground floor lobby, cameras, microphones. Reporters from Lagos Tribune. Channels TV, Premium Times and 3 online outlets. They'd gotten wind of the police escort. Smelled blood, Samuel stood before them, prepared statement in hand. He folded it. Spoke from memory instead. This afternoon, our former HR director, Victoria Adewale, was arrested for embezzling over 2 million naira from our employee welfare fund. 47 employees were harmed. We failed them. Reporters shouted questions. He raised his hand. I'm not making excuses. Our oversight failed. Our policies failed. Our culture enabled someone to steal from the most vulnerable people here. He paused. We're making immediate changes. Full restitution plus damages to affected employees. Third-party governance review. Anonymous ethics reporting. And we're elevating the voices we've ignored. Are you stepping down? One reporter shouted. No, I'm staying to fix what broke under my leadership. Leaving would be easy. Rebuilding is hard. I'm doing the hard thing. What about the woman who was falsely accused? Amara Okafor. She's been promoted to facilities supervisor. She'll also serve as special advisor to our board. She'll train every new hire, executive level included, on dignity and accountability. Samuel looked directly at the camera. She's the reason we're having this conversation. She survived what we allowed. Now she's helping us become better. Is this a publicity stunt? Ask her yourself. She's here. Samuel stepped aside. Amara walked into frame. Blue head wrap perfect. Nervous but steady. Ms. Okafor, how do you feel about the woman who destroyed your life? Amara took a breath. I feel sad for her. She had power and chose poison. But I also feel hopeful, because what happened today proves that truth eventually finds light. She looked at the camera. To anyone watching who feels invisible, you're not. Keep your dignity. Keep your integrity. Justice is slow, but it's real. Will you sue the company? No, I'm rebuilding it. Suing would be looking back. I'm looking forward, the reporters wrote frantically. This was the story. Not the scandal. The survivor, 6 p.m., social media eruption. Within 2 hours, the lobby footage from 5 weeks ago resurfaced. The video one executive had filmed. Amara on her knees. Victoria's pen pointing. The 5 naira bill. The yellow badge on the floor, it went viral. 50,000 shares in 3 hours. Comments flooded. This is every working class person's nightmare. The way she walked out with her head. Aye, that's strength. Victoria represents every boss who forgets where they came from. Amara represents every cleaner, every security guard, every person we ignore daily. A hashtag emerged. Action see Amara. Post celebrating invisible workers, cleaners, drivers, cooks, security guards. Photos with their names, their stories, their dignity. By midnight, Oinsi Amara was trending in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. The story transcended Zenith Tower. It became a mirror. Tuesday morning. Grace's testimony. Grace sat in the HR investigation room, now managed by an external firm. She gave her statement on record. Victoria called me to her office last Thursday, said a USB drive was missing. Asked if I'd seen it? I said no. She said security footage showed me near her desk. Grace's voice shook. There was no footage. She was lying. But I didn't know that. I thought I was going to lose my job like Amara. The investigator took notes. What happened next? She made me stand in the lobby. Same place as Amara. Same speech about standards. People filmed me. I collapsed. I wanted to disappear. Did anyone help you? Mr. Bello, he took me to medical. Stayed with me until my sister arrived. Grace wiped her eyes. If Mrs. Chinwe hadn't investigated, Victoria would still be doing this. How many others are there? People she destroyed who didn't get justice? The investigator wrote, recommend company-wide review of all terminations in past 24 months. Wednesday, Victoria's arraignment. The courthouse filled with Zenith employees. Not to gloat, to witness. Amara sat in the front row beside Mr. Bello and Grace. Chinwe sat 2 rows back. Victoria entered in civilian clothes. No designer suit. No silver pen. She looked small, ordinary, human. The charges read embezzlement, fraud, obstruction of justice, unlawful termination. The judge set bail at 500,000 naira. Her lawyer posted it immediately. As Victoria left, she passed Amara in the hallway. Their eyes met. Victoria stopped. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know that's not enough. But I'm sorry. Amara nodded. I heard you. Now say it to yourself. That's who you need to forgive. Victoria's eyes filled. She walked away. Broken, beginning. Outside, reporters swarmed Amara again. Do you forgive her? I release her from my anger. That's not the same as forgiveness. Forgiveness takes time, but I won't let her steal my peace twice. That quote made every evening news broadcast Thursday evening. Amara's home. Chioma and Emeka sat at the kitchen table watching their mother on TV. The news played the courthouse clip. Mama, you're famous, Emeka said. I'm not famous, baby. I'm just visible now. What's the difference? Amara thought. Famous means people see your face. Visible means people see your humanity. Chioma hugged her. I'm proud of you, Mama. I'm proud of us, Amara corrected. We survived together. Her phone rang. Unknown number, she answered. Miss Okafor, this is Dr. Adebayo from Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Your mother's surgery is scheduled for Monday, 9 a.m. Everything's covered. We'll take excellent care of her, Amara cried, joy flooding exhaustion. The children hugged her tight. She looked at their faces, safe, fed, hopeful. She looked at the blue head wrap hanging by the door. Still her crown. Always her crown. Tomorrow she'd start rebuilding Zenith. Tonight she'd hold her children and remember that survival was its own kind of victory. Monday morning. Week 6. Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Amara held her mother's hand in the pre-op room. Mama looked small in the hospital gown, but her eyes were bright, strong. You didn't have to come from Enugu, Mama said. The nurses are good here. I'm your daughter. Where else would I be? Amara adjusted her blue head wrap. She'd worn it every day since the town hall. Armor and crown both. Chioma and Emeka sat in the corner coloring. Emeka was drawing the hospital, accurate down to the IV stand. His teacher said he had talent. Amara was saving for art classes. The woman who fired you, Mama said quietly. She's in jail? Awaiting trial. But yes, essentially. Do you hate her? Amara thought. No, I hate what she did. But she's not my enemy anymore. She's just someone who made terrible choices. That's wisdom. Mama squeezed her hand. Your father would be proud. The surgeon entered. Confident, kind. Mrs. Okafor, we're ready. The procedure takes 3 hours. Success rate is 94%. You're in excellent hands. They wheeled Mama away. Amara watched until the doors closed. Then she cried relief, gratitude, fear, everything at once. Mr. Bello arrived with coffee. Chinwe told me you'd be here. Thought you could use company. Thank you, David. They sat in silence, comfortable, two people who'd survived the same storm. Tuesday afternoon. Zenith Tower, Facilities Department, Amara's first day as supervisor. Her team of 12 gathered in the break room. 8 veterans, 4 new hires. Ages ranged from 22 to 61. She knew every name. Every story. Morning, she began. I'm Amara. Most of you know me. For those who don't, I was fired from here 6 weeks ago. Accused of theft, humiliated publicly. Then the truth came out. She held up her silver badge. This isn't a promotion trophy. It's a promise. I promise to see you. To protect you. To fight for you the way someone fought for me. An older cleaner raised his hand. What if management pressures us like before? Then you report it. Anonymous hotline launches Friday. Board oversight. Third-party management. And I sit in board meetings now. Your voice goes directly to the top. A younger woman. Will executives really train with us? Starting next month. Every new hire, executive or entry, spends 1 week with us. They'll clean offices, mop floors, empty bins. Under my supervision, Amara smiled. If they can't respect the work, they don't get hired. The room erupted in applause. One more thing, Amara said. We're not just cleaners, we're facilities heroes. Our work matters. This building doesn't run without us. Don't let anyone tell you different. She handed out new uniforms. Same quality as executive staff. Same fabric, same cut. Only the department logo differed. We start in 20 minutes. Questions. A veteran cleaner stood. I just want to say thank you for not leaving, for staying and fixing this place. You could have sued and walked away rich. Rich isn't always money, Amara said quietly. Sometimes it's knowing you built something better. Wednesday. First board meeting, Amara sat at the 12-person table. The only non-executive. The only woman under 40. The only person who'd scrubbed these floors. Samuel opened. Agenda item 1, policy reform. Amara, you have the floor. She stood. Nervous but prepared. I've identified 3 gaps. First, termination appeals. Currently, fired employees can't appeal to the board. They should. Second, compensation ratio. Lowest paid staff earn 1/40th of highest paid executives. That's unsustainable. I recommend 1/20th maximum. Third, promotion pathways. Cleaners have no clear path to management. We need internal mobility programs. The CFO frowned. Salary compression would cost us millions. Embezzlement cost you millions, Amara said calmly. This invests in loyalty. Victoria stole from people who were desperate. Pay them fairly and they won't be desperate. Silence. Then Samuel. All 3 proposals approved. Draft implementation plans by next meeting. The board voted. Unanimous. After, Chinwe pulled Amara aside. You're a natural. I'm terrified. Good. Fear means you care. Comfort means you've stopped seeing. Chinwe smiled. I'm going back to Abuja tomorrow. You'll be fine without me. Will I? You survived worse with less. You'll thrive with support. Chinwe hugged her. Call me when you doubt yourself. I'll remind you who you are. Friday. Employee Welfare Fund distribution. 47 employees lined up in HR. Each received envelopes, restitution checks plus damages. Some cried, some laughed. All felt seen. Grace received hers and immediately enrolled in night school. Business administration. I'm going to run a non-profit for wrongfully terminated workers. An older man whose wife needed dialysis kissed his check. 6 months of treatment covered. I thought we'd have to sell our house. Amara watched from the back. This was justice, slow, imperfect, but real. Samuel approached. The board wants to establish the Amara Okafor Dignity Fund, emergency assistance for staff facing crisis. 2 million naira annually, your name, your oversight. Use the money, not my name. Your name reminds us what we fixed, what we can't break again. He handed her the proposal. Think about it, she did. That night she agreed. Not for ego, for memory. So future employees would know someone fought for them. Saturday, Amara's home. Mama was recovering well. 3 days post-op. Doctor said she'd be home in a week. Chioma helped cook dinner. Emeka set the table. Normal life, but better, stabler. Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. Ms. Okafor, this is Victoria Adewale. Silence, I'm out on bail. I know I shouldn't call, but I needed to say I'm getting help, therapy. I'm facing what I became. Her voice cracked. You didn't have to speak kindly about me to reporters. You could have destroyed me. Why didn't you? Because destruction doesn't heal anything, Amara said. You're facing consequences. That's justice. But I don't need to add cruelty. That would make me you. I don't deserve your grace, Your grace isn't about deserving. It's about choosing not to carry hate. Amara paused. Get help. Face yourself. Maybe you'll find who you were before the climb. Thank you, Victoria hung up. Amara sat with the call, processing. She didn't forgive yet. Maybe never would fully. But she released the weight. Her children came in. Mama, dinner's ready. She joined them at the table. Rice steaming. Stew rich with tomatoes. Emeka showed her his new drawing. Their family, everyone smiling. Chioma talked about her math test. Normal, sacred, hers. Tomorrow she'd change Zenith. Tonight she was home. 6 months later, Amara stood in Zenith's atrium at 7 a.m., watching her team prepare for the day. 12 facilities heroes in matching uniforms. Silver badges catching morning light. They moved with pride, not rushing, not invisible, but present. Grace waved from across the lobby. She'd completed her first semester. Business administration. 3.8 GPA. Scholarship covered everything. Her final project, a manual on workplace dignity for small businesses. Mr. Bello emerged from the executive elevator with 3 new hires, 2 managers and 1 VP. All wore cleaning uniforms. Day 3 of their mandatory facilities training. They looked exhausted, humbled, better. Ms. Okafor, one called. Where do we empty the executive lounge trash? Same place you empty your own, Amara said. All trash goes to the same compactor. That's the lesson. The VP nodded. Learning. Amara's phone buzzed. Mama video calling from Enugu, fully recovered. Dancing at a wedding last week. The surgery worked. The fund Victoria stole from, now restored and renamed, had saved 12 more lives since. Samuel approached. Board meeting in 20. You're presenting the mobility program. Ready? She wasn't nervous anymore. Fear had become familiarity. In 6 months, Zenith transformed. 32 cleaners enrolled in night school, company funded. Salary ratios compressed from 1 to 40 to 1 to 22. Anonymous hotline received 43 reports. All investigated. 12 resulted in terminations. The culture shifted from hierarchy to accountability. Victoria's trial concluded last month. 5 years reduced sentence. Restitution plan. Mandatory community service teaching work ethics at youth centers. She sent Amara one letter. I'm learning to see people again. Thank you for showing me it's possible. Amara kept it, not as trophy. As reminder that change was painful but real. The You to See Amara movement expanded beyond Zenith. 300 companies across Nigeria adopted dignity protocols. cleaners, security guards, drivers, all receiving training, fair wages, respect. One hashtag became a reckoning. Amara's children thrived. Chioma wanted to be a lawyer now. For people like you, Mama. Emeka's artwork hung in the school gallery. His newest piece, a woman in a blue head wrap crowned in light. Closing. Amara adjusted her head wrap before entering the boardroom. Blue, always blue. It reminded her where she'd been, who she'd remained. She thought about the woman on her knees 6 months ago. The 5 Naira bill, the yellow badge on marble. She'd survived that. Built from it. Transformed it into something that mattered. This is one of those real-life stories that African stories and African folklore teach us, the touching stories and life stories where the invisible become undeniable. Where truth, however slow, finds its stage. If you've ever been unseen, know this. Your dignity isn't given by others. It's chosen by you. Keep your crown. Keep your integrity. Justice will find you. What would you do in Amara's place? Have you witnessed injustice at work? Have you been the invisible one or the one who looked away? Share your story in the comments below. Your voice matters. Subscribe for more stories where the overlooked rise and truth prevails. Next week, the security guard who saved the governor's daughter. You won't want to miss it. Share this with someone who needs to remember their worth. Hit that notification bell. New stories every Friday at 5 p.m. We see you. We hear you. You matter.